For nearly a century, the Dallas power map was static. If you were a titan of industry, a partner at a legacy law firm, or an oil magnate, your coordinates were non-negotiable. You lived in the bubble. Highland Park, University Park, or perhaps the enclaves of Preston Hollow. These were the 752 zip codes, the ultimate signifiers of arrival. But in 2026, the signals changed. The traditional Dallas zip code is no longer a badge of honor for the new guard of tech executives. It's a logistical liability. As the C-suite shifts from the boardroom to the border room, high-tech, remote-first estate compounds and new destinations has emerged as the undisputed capital of the quiet wealth movement. Welcome to Flower Mound, Texas. Today we're analyzing the death of the traditional Dallas luxury neighborhood and exploring why the world's most powerful tech minds are trading the manicured lawns of park cities for the smart acreage of the north. Let's look at the numbers. In Highland Park, the average luxury lot size is often less than half an acre. If you're paying $5 or $10 million for the privilege of being able to hear your neighbor's pool pump. For decades, this density was a feature, not a bug. It meant proximity to the Dallas Country Club and a 10-minute commute to downtown. But for the 2026 executive, proximity is a four-letter word. Highland Park and Preston Hollow have become victims of Dallas's own success. The congestion on the tollway and the encroachment of urban density mean that privacy in these neighborhoods is now an illusion maintained by tall fences and expensive security details. For a Silicon Valley transplant or fintech CEO, legacy prestige often translates to outdated infrastructure. The older neighborhoods of Dallas were built for a different era of wealth, one based on social visibility and physical presence. In 2026, the threat landscape has changed. Executives now prioritize physical distance. They want a buffer zone. In Highland Park, your front door is 30 feet from a public sidewalk. In Flower Mound, specifically in the massive estate corridors in the west, your front door is a quarter mile behind a biometric gate, separated by rolling hills and private topography. The old world definition of luxury was about who could see you. The new world definition is about who cannot find you. You might ask, why Flower Mound? Why not just buy land in further flung counties? The answer isn't just the dirt, it's the data. While Dallas struggles with the last mile problem, trying to retroactively thread modern fiber through 70-year-old sewage and power lines, Flower Mound has undergone an infrastructure revolution. In late 2025, the completion of the North Denton fiber loop changed everything. This isn't your standard residential gigabit internet. We're talking about dedicated enterprise-grade dark fiber grids that mirror the connectivity of a Tier 4 data center. For a CEO running a global operation via high-fidelity telepresence or a hedge fund manager requiring microsecond latency for AI-driven trades, Flower Mound offers a superior technical hub. The town's modern utility backbone was designed after the digital revolution, not before it. Then there's the issue of power. We all remember the fragility of the Texas grid in years past. In older Dallas neighborhoods, the power lines are often above ground, shaded by the very legacy oak trees that residents prize. One ice storm or heavy wind and the most expensive homes in Dallas are running on noisy diesel generators. Flower Mound's newer luxury developments have bypassed this. The infrastructure is entirely subterranean, integrated into a modernized local grid that features redundant nodes. For the 2026 executive, technical reliability isn't a luxury, it's the backbone of their estate. They're building zero failure homes, and Flower Mound is the only place providing the raw power to support them. The shift in geography has fundamentally changed the architecture of the Texas home. We're seeing the rise of the executive ranch, a hybrid of a 5-star resort, private fortress, and a high-tech laboratory. In the past, owning 20 acres meant hiring a fleet of staff to mow, trim, and secure the perimeter. Today, Flower Mound estates are utilizing smart acreage. We're seeing property lines monitored by AI-driven computer vision security systems that can distinguish between a wandering coyote and a human intruder miles before they reach the main house. Autonomous landscaping, industrial-grade robotic mowers, AI-managed irrigation, Keeps the vast open expanse pristine without a 10-person crew on site every day. You look at the floor plans of the new $15 million builds in Flower Mound, you'll notice something missing. The grand ballroom. The era of hosting 200-person indoor galas is fading for this demographic. Instead, these 15,000 square foot compounds feature dedicated broadcast studios, sound insulated rooms with 8K camera arrays for global keynotes and media appearances. They feature private server rooms with liquid-cooled rocks to handle the massive computer required for personal AI models, private cloud storage. They feature tactical wellness centers, not just a gym, but biohacking suites with hyperbaric chambers and medical-grade filtration. You cannot build this in Highland Park. You just don't have the infrastructure or the square footage. You certainly don't have the raw land to support the massive geothermal loops or the 100 kilowatt solar arrays these homes require. Flower Mound provides the hardware for the home of the future. Now let's talk about the invisible driver of this migration, the math. The property tax burden in Dallas proper has reached a breaking point for many high net worth individuals. Between the soaring valuations and the aggressive city and school district rates, the carrying cost of a traditional Dallas estate has become an eye-watering line item. Flower Mound, situated in Denton County, offers a significantly more attractive fiscal environment. In 2026, the county's tax rates sit at nearly a 40-year low. Furthermore, many of the newer executive ranch parcels in Flower Mound are eligible for agricultural valuations or specialized development zones. When you are building a $20 million estate, the difference between Dallas and Flower Mound taxes isn't just pocket change, it's enough to fund an entire family office. But beyond the money, there's the culture. Dallas has always been a see and be seen town. The social hierarchy is public. Denton County and Flower Mound specifically is the capital of stealth wealth. In Flower Mound, the billionaire next door is likely wearing a pair of work boots and driving an electric truck. There's a communal agreement to fly under the radar, away from the paparazzi that frequent the park cities and public scrutiny of Dallas elite. Tech executives are finding a self-sustaining community of peers. It's a neighborhood where the person at the local coffee shop is more likely to be a founder of a unicorn startup than a socialite. This elite peerage is creating a new kind of social network, one based on shared privacy and technical interest other than legacy debutante balls. We're witnessing the birth of a self-sustaining elite. This isn't just a trend of people moving to the suburbs, it's the relocation of the very engines of Texas economy. When the C-suite moves, the ecosystem follows. We're already seeing high-end medical boutiques, bespoke private schools, elite concierge services opening branches in North Texas corridors specifically to serve the Flower Mound migration. The traditional Dallas zip code isn't dying because it's no longer beautiful, it's dying because it can no longer fulfill the functional requirements of the 21st century executive. In 1926, the place to be was Highland Park. In 2026, that center of gravity has shifted 30 miles north. The executives choosing Flower Mound aren't just buying houses, they're buying the ability to disappear. They're buying the infrastructure of the future. And they're buying the freedom of the open expanse. The traditional Dallas zip code is a relic of the physical age. Flower Mound is the destination of the digital one. If you're looking to build your own executive ranch, or you're tracking the shift of the Texas power map, the question is no longer why Flower Mound. The question is, how soon can I get there? If you want to know where the next boom is happening in Fort Worth, check out the next video. Until next time, thank you for watching.